get that going. How is everybody doing? I'm trying to moderate my times a little better because we all know I have a problem with that. Waiting for YouTube to show. You guys can hang out with my pups for a sec here. There we go. Okay, now YouTube is up. Rumble is up. We are going. All right. Just a little view of my beautiful hound doggies right there. That is Gemma on the left, Grace in the middle, and Riker on the right. Riker on the right is our only non-rescue, but we have rescued another of his breed before. All right, let's get over here and make me turn my puppies off. And we are going to boing. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Hope I didn't mess that up. You got to actually click on it again. It's a new change they made. Used to be when you're on that window, it just automatically, when you hit the hotkey, beep. Now, oh no. I'm going to apologize right off, everybody. Yes, you are going to hear my notifications. This is the Star Trek door tone for those who have caught that in the past. I am going to be on 1 hour, and I'm going to head out. I got to go out and mow for my father at my parents' house. So I got to be in and out. So I'm keeping notifications on just in case he needs something else before I go. So apologize. How are we doing? Just gonna go in hot. Start right off. Gonna go and figure out what YouTube is doing here because they still have me with the pups up. You know, I obviously don't have the pups up. So hang on here. What is going on? Yeah, YouTube is lagging for some reason. Way behind. Okay, I don't know what YouTube is doing, but okie doke. Okay. Well, gonna jump right in. This is just something quick, and I think I actually showed this on my stream last night, but just a simple post here, just something small. I'm gonna try not to dig too deep into this South African immigrant stuff a little bit though, because we're gonna talk about a CNN panelist who's a little racist, obviously, but this is just dumb. Jojo from Jersey. Is it interesting that MAGA is for mass migration when it's white South Africans? So isn't it interesting when you're not? You were only interested in mass migration when it was brown folks. That could be both ways, lady. Also, let me show you something here. I went and looked, and I just wanted to know how many white people are in South Africa. 4,504,252 people. Minus about 100 that just came here. But the Biden administration brought in 20 million before. So now suddenly this, if he brought in every single white person out of South Africa, every single one of them, it's still a quarter of what the Biden administration brought in. So it's amazing there, Jojo, that now you are having a problem with it. Just saying. It seems like you are okay as long as they're brown. So just kind of stupid. Oh, yeah, and that leads us right into where is she at? Oh, man. Nope. Where is it? Oh, is this it? Yes. Oh. Former Biden-Harris staffer takes an extremely disturbing shot at white South African refugees during heated CNN segment. And yes, I am not the only person talking about this. All right, just making sure my sound was still working because the settings was acting a little weird. All right. I'm not the only person talking about this. I have to mention something maybe that most people have not when I watch this. But a left-wing panelist dropped the dog whistle. Yeah, she didn't even dog whistle it at all and screamed directly into her bullhorn during a shocking display of anti-white racism. How about just racism in general? Last night while complaining about persecuted South Africans receiving refugee status. I'm not going into the history of South Africa, apartheid, none of it. All I'm saying is, boy, they don't seem to mind who comes here, whether it's a gang member or whatever else, or nutty person, or whatever type of criminal, or possible terrorist. They don't care. As soon as they're white people, holy shit. As TGP readers know, The Trump administration is resettling increasingly racially persecuted white South African farmers, specifically Afrikaners. That's not a racist term. That's what they call themselves. In the United States, this is a long overdue response to violent racial persecution of an ethnic minority. Left to fend for itself in a crumbling post-apartheid South Africa. And by the way, just like slavery in America, not all white people took part in this. So stop it. These farmers' very backbone of South Africa's food supply trace their ancestry back to Dutch and French settlers. And yes, I'm sorry to tell people this, white people settled South Africa. The more black people immigrated south afterwards. When they built a nice nation, they came south, and there were a lot of them. Yes, and they outnumbered the white people, which is kind of possibly, idiotically, I say, why they put apartheid in, because they were afraid of they were getting inundated. But hey, I'm not backing it. But I didn't know personally that it was white people that settled South Africa originally. I had to go look that crap up when somebody told me. And then lately I saw a guy that works for Timcast who immigrated here from South Africa. And he was talking about it a couple times on there. Once again, not backing apartheid. But here's a problem. That's a quick problem. I am going to deviate a little because I don't just read things verbatim. Anybody online can do that for you. Where it says South Africa's food supply, the background of it, yeah. There are some people right now going, dude, you better stop doing this. These people are the ones who know how to farm, who've been doing this for generations. And I'm not saying, oh, what, the black people can't farm? It doesn't matter. If you are not somebody who's been working that land, know the growth patterns, you have generations of farming, this is looking at upsetting some major food chain problems in South Africa. In fact, some people on both sides are starting to say, this may be a bad idea. First group of South African refugees arrived in the United States on Monday. As one will see, these 59 refugees, so I was wrong, even 59 refugees, waved American flags. Yes, I'm sure they were handed to them for the photo op as they were welcomed to D.C. by Deputy Secretary Christopher Landau and DHS Deputy Secretary Troy Edgar. Welcome the refugees. And these are actual families. That is a fact. Not majority young military-aged men masquerading as refugees in an attempt to conquer their new land. Yeah, I don't know about the conquering new land, but you know what I mean. Now, here's the other thing. Yes, the American flags are probably handed to them, and maybe these people are super appreciative. Maybe they are, yes, let's get to America. Let's start a new life. Let's do it. Maybe. Maybe they're not. But, hey, I've been to protests, immigration, deportation protests multiple times, and every one of them, I have pictures that I've shared on this stream before and a couple of other videos I did. You can look back and find them. Of people just marching around with Mexican, Cuban, and other countries' flags. Barely an American flag in sight. These are people that have been here living off the backbones of America. So I am less annoyed at these people just getting here waving American flags than I am somebody who's been here 3 years, 10 years, 15 years who still wants to wave their country's flags and say, Viva la Mexico or Viva la Ecuador, but then gets mad if we want to send them there. So yeah. All right. This is him welcoming them. Now this, what she says, is pretty stupid. So this is going to flip me over to X and we'll watch there.
And part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back.
Here, let me pull this back. All right. Now, I may have to stop once or twice. CN isn't usually too bad. Plus, I am doing a news story. But fair use on YouTube is a little twitchy. So here we go. Oh, maybe. Uh-oh. It doesn't like you messing with it. All right, let me scan up, scan down. Give it a second. Ooh, I really ticked it off. All right, then I'll just refresh the whole page. Oh, my gosh. All right, we'll just do it this way. Boom! It shot me way down. I love when that happens. All right, let's try this one more time, folks.
And part of that is that the people who are native to that land deserve their rightful land back. That is not what the Afrikaners actually want to have happen, which are the white Africans, and so who are not originally from Africa, who colonized South Africa also.
In the 1600s. 1600s. They're not originally from there. How long do you get to say? I actually asked this question last night on my stream. I was like, how long do you have to be in a country before you can be considered native? Americans have been in this country for some American families can trace their history back more than 250 years of this country's history. 300 years or so. Don't they get to call themselves, Native Americans by that time? These people colonized and built that country, some of them, in the 1600s. I believe like 1660 or something. Holy crap. How long until you get to consider yourself native South African or something? I mean, I think 350, 400 years you get to. So one, she is stupid. And if we go by the same token, then many of her brethren have been here only 200 years or so, or 250 years. Maybe they should be sent home. And I'm not talking about just the ones from slavery. Slavery, hey, I get it. Not like they had a lot of option there. But a lot of more melanated folks have come to America since slavery ended. So that makes them here, what, 100, 150 years? Maybe they should go home. She is being racist as hell.
And so that is what they are saying is discrimination. Now, if the Constitution in South Africa is discriminatory, they have their checks and balances in that land,
do they?
Just like we do. And that is for them to. So if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They are. They're leaving to come here.
No, they can
these
leave
refugees
and go,
are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is.
Really? Where's your native land? How long's your family been here? Just asking. 400 years a lot of these people have been there. I think they have a claim. Go back to where they came from. Boy, imagine if you said that in America. Hey, go back to where you came from. Holy shit. You walk up and say that to her, she would have a coronary. Go back to where you came from if you don't like it here. But these people, 400 years in, oh no. Shouldn't be able to come to America. What's her bias? We all know.
Which is probably Germany.
Are you against them coming here?
Holland, probably. Holland.
These people have no ties 400 years. Now let me help you here. Just a quick search here. There we go. This is nuts. This is why they're leaving. This is why they're scared over there. These are people openly saying, go ahead. If you are white, you are labeled a racist if you stand up for your own people. This Fuker sweeps up thousands of supporters every weekend singing, shoot to kill. Kill the Boer, the family, or the farmer. Per fa. And it's okay. Welcome to South Africa. These are people openly saying to end the white people, end the white farmers.
Shoot to kill your master. Kill the Boer, the farmer. Kill the Boer, the farmer.
That's crazy. That's why they're leaving. And so you want to talk persecution? This stuff is freaky.
Shoot to kill. Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa. Brr, pa, pa. Attention.
But that is what she has a problem coming here? That's who she has a problem. She has a problem with that coming here. They talk about the persecuted masses claiming asylum. Dude, how much more asylum do you have to claim than this? That is nuts. More of them. Just kill the Boer, sung at a political rally. Another one. And it's going on. Look at this stadium full, people. Look at this. Look at all the people. This is what they're facing. Now, I would call that a reason for refugee status. Not the, well, I just came across, and my country's a little poorer, and I know I can get freebies in America, so, ooh, refugee. That's not it. That is not refugee status. This is. And she doesn't care. She does not care at all. Where is her so-called, oh my God, you got to let all these people in be refugees. These are refugees. Give them their refugee status. This is pure racism from this woman. 100% racism. Well, they can go back to Holland or Denmark or whatever, where they're from. Bitch, they've been in that country for 400 years. They built that country. I did. Like I said, I keep saying it, I did not know that until recently. I thought, I learned all the apartheid stuff, but then started hearing and was told, you better go look up the history. That country was nothing. White people came there, settled it, built it, and then the black people from the north immigrated south. So yeah, that was nutso. But where is the left talking about, oh, these poor refugees, they're persecuted in their country. They're unsafe. Well, I don't know. Stadiums full of people like this chanting to end you as a white person in this country, that sounds to me like persecution and a real reason for refugee status. And suddenly Democrats want nothing to do with refugee status. I don't know. I mean, I ask anybody, is that not puckering? Imagine being in this country where you are 7% of the population. Hey, I'm going to help you out. Hey, American black people, you are 12 to 13% of the population. Imagine if the whole rest of America was in stadiums like this chanting, saying, kill the black people. At YouTube, I'm doing a what if here. Just imagine if they were doing what if. Time to shoot the, holy crap. You would be wanting out of this country quicker than shit. And if this was reversed, if that was a whole stadium full of the white people chant, off the less melanated amongst us, in chants like this with finger guns, everything else, and the rate of people being killed is going up and up and up and up, and it's even kind of legal in that country now, we would see a flow in and the Democrats would be screeching and screaming. But now suddenly, because it's white people and they don't like some history in that country, no refugee status. They don't want them. It is nuts. Oh, hey, Jim. How you doing, man? Hey, Slowburn, what's up? I'm just stopping in for a quick 1 hour little news catch up, and I got to go out and mow my dad's grass. But how you doing, guys? And hello to the people over on Rumble. As I always ask, hey, come on, Rumble, give me a thumbs up or a hello in the chat. Just say hi. People on Rumble don't talk much. It's crazy. All right, but yeah, this is nuts. Where's the immigration status or the refugee status that this lady cares about suddenly? And you hear Democrats screeching and screaming about 59 people. 59 people is what they brought in so far. Ooh. The whole country of South Africa has 4.5 million white people. If we brought in every single one, that's still a quarter of what the Biden administration brought in. That was almost all Browns folks. So I'm starting to see a little pattern here. Remember, they said all the 20 million, they're just refugees. They're so persecuted, unsafe in their country. And I'm like, bitch, unsafe? Holy crap. But yeah, that's just why I wanted to talk about a little bit on that. I mean, that chick is nutso. Nutso. How you two doing today? All right. Moving on. I'm going to move on kind of quick here, guys. I got another 41 minutes till I got to go. But let's head on and check this. Now, this one here, they are all over Trump and this Saudi trip. I mean, the butt hurt. Now, here's what I wanted to focus on. Trump, Saudi Crown Prince signed multiple defense and energy agreements. Do you know why I think this is epic? I'm just curious. Does anybody know why I think this is epic? Not because, oh, Trump cultist, Orange Man fan. No, that's not it. It's because what this does is ties Saudi Arabia to the American dollar. This makes our dollar stronger for a little longer. Remember, I believe the Saudis were part of the BRICS nations. Well, what Trump just did is tied them not to go into this BRICS gold standard or BRICS dollar they were thinking about doing. This keeps them on our dollar more. Because to trade with us, to do these energy and defense agreements, for us to sell them parts for military equipment or sell them military equipment, or to do energy trade deals, it's in dollar. So this just propped up our dollar hugely. Oh, okay. I didn't know that, Jim. Thank you. I honestly did not know or realize that, but thanks, man. So appreciate that. Appreciate the knowledge. Of course, then I wonder, how many people are on Rumble then if you're not... Okay, I get not subbing to my channel. I wouldn't sub to me either. Not helping myself, am I? Okay, well, that's me. But yeah, also you notice, by the way, when it's somebody that's not trying to make Trump look stupid, he's not orange. Yeah, I have a friend that went to a Trump rally in Davenport, Iowa, and he has pictures. Trump isn't orange. So it's just stupid. But no, I think this is amazing. I mean, I can read this to you. Signed in a series of agreements on energy, defense, and other areas on Tuesday. Multiple agreements signed at the formal ceremony focused on cooperation between U.S. and Saudi military, including modernization and development of capabilities of Saudi armed forces through future defense capabilities, which means we will be selling them stuff, which means they will be buying in American dollars. Trade in American dollars strengthens our dollar. And boy, we need it propped up. This moves them away from the BRICS nation stuff and is huge for us. So, okay. Ammunition training, support services, maintenance system upgrades, spare parts, education for land and air systems, the National Guard, development of health capabilities. I mean, there's a lot here. Look at that non-orange man. When they can't sit there and put a filter on him. So yeah, this is nice for us. A $600 billion commitment to invest in the United States. This is on top of the trillions that Trump has already got to be invested in America. This is great. So yeah, it's just, I think it's good. I didn't want to wallow on it too much, except, let me see here. Where was I? No. Oh, I did. I had. This is what happens when you're in a hurry. Okay. Let me see. Trump. Saudi. Let me see here. I want to see what some of the butthurt was. I had some of the butthurt ones. I think maybe they're in my bookmarks. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. So what happens when you're kind of... Oh, yeah, there it was. What the hell does happen there? Yeah, I love this. What a pathetic statement about Trump. But this Saudi royal court now has a mobile McDonald's serving Trump during his stay. That's what you get out of it? $600 billion in investment in this country. He strengthened the American dollar, and that's what you have to come up with? Is the McDonald's? That's it? Oh my God, he's got the McDonald's now helping. They're serving him there. Who cares? I mean, why is... That's the left right there. That is their story. That is how they have to frame stuff. Ask your doctor if coping and seething are right for you. I always like to look at some of these. It's great. McDonald's is as American as apple pie and baseball, you communist twit. See the 100%. And hey, I'm not saying I'll go eat a lot of McDonald's. I kind of eat McDonald's, sorry McDonald's, if you're kind of last resort. But, you know, I understand it. It is pretty American if you look at it. You are pathetic. You are no reporter. A sore little child. His gold is disparaged. Trump, get a life. Yeah. Oh, this one. I thought Dr. Oz, it's Oz, not is, said our patriotic news be as healthy as possible. Once again, doesn't apply to Trump. Didn't say you couldn't eat some junk food here or there. He's never said you have to eat nothing but good. My gosh. And boy, if that's your big got you, that bad man Orange, he eats McDonald's. Wow. You're going to put about a quarter of America right there into that one. Well, that's Democrats. They love to put everybody in a basket of deplorables, don't they? Trump elected 47th president. Yeah, in your face. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. When they found out, Fred. That is something. How do you do that? Bro likes cheeseburgers. What's the big deal? Yeah, 100%. I cannot even imagine being friends with a liberal. It has to be absolutely dreadful. It's tough. It is very tough. Pathetic? Nah, that's just a weak attempt at a jab missing the mark. Trump's got more spine in one tweet than your whole squad's got combined. Oh, my God. Trump has 2 jobs, POTUS and McDonald's Employee of the Year. Oh, my God. What the F have you done with your life, Fred? That's it right there. That is beautiful. Oh, God. That is good. That's it right there. That's beautiful. But, yeah, they're just butthurt over this whole thing. Yeah, so they're going to be butthurt over this. They're whining about the jet still. That is not going to Trump. It's going to the DOD. So you know what? Well, if we're going to give back the jet, and I'm going to say this to Tim Pool and everybody else out there, every single gift any country's ever given America needs to go back, including the Statue of Flippin' Liberty. So whatever. All right, gotta move on since I got some minimal time here. I will close as we go, as a matter of fact, just to keep myself from wandering too much. I did like this, and yes, I am actually using a few right-leaning sites today. Sometimes I overcompensate and use almost all left-leaning, and I'm trying to balance myself back out. Over at Red State. Annual inflation rate hits 4-year low. This is all while Democrats are out screeching and screaming, the prices are too high. Things are going up. Inflation's going through the roof. Egg prices are high. They're still spouting this shit. Even though the annual inflation rate hit the 4-year low, we all know this, groceries have seen the biggest decline in 5 years. That is nuts. I know for a fact my egg prices are not back down to where they were during the first Trump administration, but they were $7.97 at my local Aldi for a dozen. Now I believe they are $3.97. That is a huge drop. Is it dropped enough? Not really, but it's a monster drop. Yet the Democrats are, as I posted on my stream last night, talking about Elizabeth Warren and Schumer and all of them. Oh, the economy, things are too high. Trump said he would lower stuff, and he hasn't. The smooth-brained out there among us don't look at any facts. They won't go to the actual government statistics and see, oh my gosh, inflation is down. When they go to their grocery store, because of their hatred, they got their goggles of hate on. They got their orange-tinted goggles on. And the orange-tinted goggles must, I guess, make price tags change. Because you can clearly see when you go to the stores, I don't care if it's Aldi, Fairway, Hy-Vee, Jewel, grocery stores in my area, folks. If you go to Walmart, eggs are down. So people bitching about eggs, either you were never eating eggs and just using it as a talking point, or you are willing, you're stupid, or you're stupid. Yes, I'll leave that one in the middle. You're stupid. Or you are willing to lie for pure hatred. Maybe take off your orange-tinted glasses. Because eggs are down. Everything in the grocery store is down at least a little. Except soda pop. Man, what is wrong with soda pop? $8 and something cents for a 12-pack of soda? I can buy energy drinks right now almost cheaper than I can buy soda. And I'm talking, I don't drink sugar stuff. I drink the the sugar-free, not the diet, the sugar-free. It's got a different sweetener that tastes better. They're just mad they didn't have a Depends truck waiting for Joe when he visited. Yeah, 100%. But while this is going on, and this is easily look up government statistics, and people, I'm sorry to tell you guys on the left, you're the cult. Because when Trump says something, half of us go look something up. We'll go look for independent media. We'll go look for somebody that's not Fox News or Newsmax or anybody else. We will go look things up. We'll go look up government statistics. Go look at actual congressional hearings and stuff. We'll look at law. We'll do a quick Grok search, GPT search or something, and find out if that's actually real. But you guys, you'll just see, oh my God, the eggs are still high, even though your wallet says no. So yeah, there's a problem there. Oh, hey guys, I'm going to ask you, please hit thumbs up on Rumble and YouTube if you're watching. And I don't ask you to subscribe right away, but if I can keep you entertained, amused, or even annoyed for 10 minutes for 3 different streams, you come into my channel, 10 minutes per of those, I ask, please give me a subscribe just for the hell of it. Oh, let me see here. By the way, Rumble people, you looking good over there. Rumble has been, without changing my settings, I know Rumble heard me, but they are definitely picked it up. I haven't had near as much trouble with Rumble the last couple weeks. But yeah, I just enjoy watching them lie about this. The annual inflation rate eased to 2.3% in April, the lowest since February 2021. Showing that, once again, it's just one more thing where, one, the left was gaslighting us. What are you talking about? There's no inflation. Well, then suddenly, well, it's transitory. It won't last. Oh, we're bringing it down as it's still going up. Eggs were no big deal. None of the inflation was a big deal. They kept saying, well, then they went from, well, it's transitory to, well, it's not happening. Don't believe your wallet. Don't believe your lying eyes. Yeah. And they said the same thing with the border. Not happening. The border's closed. You got Mayorkas saying the border's closed. That was the whole 4 years of the Biden administration. First, they would lie to you, tell you it's not happening. They would say, well, it's temporary. Then they'd say, well, it's just not happening. Again, they're back to it again. It's not happening. Or what's the big deal? That's all they did. The whole 4 years. February 20th. So Joe Biden's attempted destruction of the U.S. economy can be reversed. Just like the border. Well, we just can't do anything about it. Trump goes in, boom. Lowest border crossing numbers ever. That's insane. The month-to-month rate increased by this represents 0.1% decline in the annual rate from March and 0.1% below forecasts. Just like his job numbers are above forecasts. Nice job. It's strange how everything the Democrats say couldn't be done has already been done. I think I smell shite. The month-to-month rate increased by 0.2% over March, but was lower than the forecasted 0.3%. So Trump's coming out winning on all of it. Look at that. Look at that. And this is something any lefty could look up, but they won't. They'll still go out there and watch Elizabeth Warren spout. Crazy. Look where that was pegged up. And I'm going to say it was funny. It always struck me as funny. The only time we started seeing anything drop a little during the Biden administration was just before the election. It's like they could have done something but didn't give a rat's ass. When did the border numbers start to drop? Yeah, just before the election. When it was hurting them in the polls. Enough people had smelled the shit and said, no, this is bullcrap. You're lying to us. The border is open. We got the people everywhere being buried in them. Our money, as our roads are crap and my family can't afford food, I get to watch immigrants walk in with government cards and buy baskets and baskets of groceries and walk out. Well, I'm just hoping I got enough to feed the family. Americans are tired of it. That's the only time we saw the border numbers drop is before the election. And you know if Cammie would have won, pow, even bigger. Even bigger. I will stand by that. Gasoline prices decreased for the 3rd straight month. Yes. At home food fell by 4.4%. Okay, yeah. Eggs were down 17% since March. Pork and beef ran at or slightly behind inflation. Overall grocery prices had their largest decline in nearly 5 years. Hey, even if it's pennies, I'll take it. But yeah, you can't tell lefties this crap. Nope, because orange man bad. Orange man bad. I got to get me a pair of them orange tinted glasses and go look at the price tags. So yeah. All right, guys. Like I said, I know I'm moving on a little fast here. I'm just trying to do a little news update. I hate seeing stuff and just like, what the hell? All right. I'm going to ask right off, are any of you falling for this? How many people in America do you think are falling for this crap? I mean, even in the 2016 election, huge amounts of America was looking at Joe Biden going, dude, he's not right. He's ODFS. If you're a redneck, you know what that means. Out there effing somewhere. We all knew then. He couldn't talk straight then. Even though he looked better, he was still walking funny, acting funny. Something was off. To anybody who's ever been around somebody with dementia or Alzheimer's, we saw some shit going on. I've had both in my family. Thankfully, not on my side as much. That sounds bad. Sorry. But I've seen it. I've been through it. My mother actually did have some issues. And I know what it's like. A lot of people do. It's frightening how many people would turn their backs because of Trump hate. But now, Tapper's writing his book trying to gaslight that, oh my God, we just didn't know. Biden was totally out of it. But wow, we missed it somehow. No, you didn't. You guys tamped down on, clapped back on, made fun of, and deplatformed anybody who called it out. Right up until you could not. Until it was absolutely impossible to hide it. You guys gaslit, attacked, hid, deplatformed anybody who talked about it. And you can go back, look at CNN's past stuff. You can go to X, you can go to Grok, type in where they, CNN defends Biden cognizance. Go look it up. You're going to have video after video after video. So Jake Tapper saying, God, I don't know how we missed it. I don't think anybody's believing this. I don't even think Democrats are believing this. But they were willing to have a mental patient in there for pure hate. Because they are brainwashed haters. It's like my troll last night. Come in with the hyperbole, but you try to throw it in the air and they just keep repeating it, screaming it. That's all they've got. Their brain is broken. You cannot actually show them evidence. Video evidence, government numbers, nothing. You cannot show them. Their brains are broken. There's something so craven, so shameless about CNN host Jake Tapper writing a book and profiting off the media / Democrat Party's years-long cover-up Joe Biden's mental decline. And I'm going to say it was the worst cover-up ever. It was there for the world to see. We had world leaders grabbing Joe as he wanders off and pulling him back. He's fallen asleep in world conferences. He's pooping himself in Buckingham Palace and the Vatican. He's wandering around and getting lost. He's falling down. He couldn't talk straight. He had flashcards. It was a very horribly done cover-up. It was so out in the open. So what it comes down to is how lazy are we as a people where we were just willing to let that go when the whole world was laughing at us. I watch foreign news all the time. You have a VPN, it helps. And they were laughing. There was foreign news around the world talking about how can America be doing this? I don't get it. And I'm not going to belabor this Joe Biden thing. Sure, he's out of office. But what we need to be talking about is the media cover-up. And our government covered this up. They were attacking people, taking things down. The government was telling social media platforms not to talk about it, take things down. So, yeah, people lost their jobs over that. So we need to worry about the media, but the government, the part of our government that helped back this. That's what we need to worry about. Because those people are still there. Trump has not been able to purge all of that. So our government itself worked against the American people to put a mental patient in there. So we have no clue who was actually signing orders and doing stuff. Who was giving him the flashcards? So, yeah. So, yeah, I like how they use this as an excuse. A rapidly aged Joe Biden couldn't recognize George Clooney at Democrat fundraiser in Los Angeles during his 2024 campaign, leaving the Hollywood star shaken to his core. Bullshit. We'd seen this guy forget people's names all the time, mispronounce the same name time after time. We saw him try to call a few deceased people up to the stage multiple times or thank them. That's stupid, even though he already knows they were deceased. So, yeah, where was George during the last, 3-4 years before this? So I call bullshit. They knew they were willing to do this, perpetrate this fraud on the American people. Yeah. Cheap fake update. New details from the Hollywood fundraiser when Biden froze up had to be let off. It's like watching someone who's not alive. It was clear the president had not recognized Clooney. Yeah, so it was obvious many standing there. Whatever. Yeah, where was he for all this time? I don't mean to make light of George Clooney's deep wisdom and world historic significance. He's an actor. You're an actor. Shut up. You're not Louis Pasteur. But there is something hilarious that he only became convinced Biden was out of it because Biden didn't recognize him. I knew he was out of it in 2023. That's from watching him on TV. Yes. Everybody knew. 2 minutes of Jake Tapper questioning those who said Biden was in cognitive decline. So do we really believe Jake Tapper now? Just saying. Yeah, let's take a quick listen to this.
Feel when they see you make a comment like that?
It's very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no. I can't. That's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an.
Yeah, but Jake, you missed it. All of media missed it. No, this is what you did. Every time somebody said it, you shut them down. Well, you make fun of them. Shut them down. Shut them down. Don't even talk to them. What the hell was that? But we missed it. It was an honest mistake. The White House was gaslighting us and hiding it. Nobody was hiding it very well. I'm going to say 3/4 of the country knew. Yeah, 3/4 of the country openly knew, and that includes a lot of Democrats. They just didn't give a shit. But, Trump is
a cognitive decline.
President Biden embraces his stutter, talking about it, while Trump mocks it, exaggerates it, belittles it. He's sharp physically. I mean, mentally.
Yeah.
I think the question is physically, right?
Right.
Or so?
Right.
Right. And the guy who's his chief.
Because he's behind the scenes doing handstands. Remember Morning Joe? He's the best Biden we've ever had. Best Biden's ever been. He's never been more amazing. He's chugging Red Bulls and doing calculus and flipping burgers and running marathons behind the scenes, all while taking care of the world. That's the shit we were told.
Is only 3 or 4 years younger than him.
Exactly.
I mean, you have questioned President Biden's age, mental fitness, ability to lead. Of those supporting Biden, you said, quote, "Shame on all of you pretending everything is okay. You're leading us and him into a disaster." Do you worry that you damaged him at all? I don't doubt that you got hugs and handshakes behind closed doors today, and maybe even publicly, some of them because they like you personally. But I've heard a lot of really nasty stuff about you from your Democratic colleagues. Sure. I mean,
so so we turn it back and attack him. That's
like,
the whole game we have for 4 years.
What is he thinking? Exercising narcissism. I mean, false claims to the Wall Street Journal about President Biden's mental fitness and acuity. He's 81. And his memory, it doesn't.
Now keep in mind, this is all Jake Tapper, who's now out there saying, well, we just missed it. The whole media apparatus was fooled. And I'm going to call bullshit. I'll repost this. You guys want to watch the full video? Head on over to Tom Elliott on X, or I will repost on Lyons Den WS6 on X. Feel free to go take a full watch. But yeah, once again, far left CNN's Jake Tapper says Biden's health, not so bad. Advisors feared he needed a wheelchair if reelected. Oh, how many times was that used where he's fallen up steps? But no, we're now supposed to believe the whole media apparatus missed this. Yeah, okay. If that's true, I'm just going to say, let's just say it's true, that the whole media apparatus just oopsied. You know what? Then they all need to be fired. Because if you can miss something that long-running and obvious, holy crap. I'll speak as from the level of an auto mechanic. You know what that is? That's like cars. That's like for 4 years. Cars coming into my shop, and me, my techs, my business partner, none of us been able to fix a single one of them. But everybody goes, that's a great auto repair shop. We wouldn't have remained open if we'd had the same track record as his mental decline. But, you know, these experts all missed it. I wouldn't be called an expert if I couldn't have fixed a single car in 4 years. But these experts, the whole media apparatus, that'd be like my old shop, Meineke, Midas, you name all your big shops, Pep Boys, all of them. It's if they all missed and couldn't fix a single car for 4 years. You would not be calling them experts anymore. You'd be calling for, hey, all new auto mechanics out there, new techs. They're all done. They're all junk. They're all shot. Then these people should all be fired if we're going to believe them that they all missed it. Oh my God, we were just lied to. We didn't see it. Yeah, just crap. So we are going to head out of that. Like I said, go over and check out Tom Elliott. There's still more of this to go if you wanted to watch it on X. All right, so I am closing these down as I go because I want to make sure I keep my butt moving because, you know me, I squirrel. And then we come to, it hasn't ended. So now I will have to pause and I probably will not play all 8 minutes of this, but Fox is usually pretty good about understanding what fair use is. But Biden went on The View here a few days back, and it didn't go well. They tried to cover. But listen just a little bit of what he says. So remember, Jake Tapper played videos of him covering, but now he's writing a book. We didn't see it, and still here.
Just stunk up The View. The Bidens joined The View this morning for the entire hour. The audience was caught off guard, but knew something was up when they saw a dozen Secret Service agents and 2 embalmers. There were a few...
Sorry, that's as loud as it goes, guys.
So when a confused Joe asked if he could bid on the showcase. But was he surprised Kamala lost?
I've never seen...
I want to get right to where he was in.
The sexist route.
Sorry. There we go.
I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman, she's this, she's that. I mean, it really, I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country and a woman of mixed race.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, you lying sack of
Yeah.
Biden also...
I'm just trying to get to where he was talking more.
Why is he going
after people's health care?
Here we go.
Why is he going after people's health care and Social Security? Why is he doing that? What possible reason is that?
Joe's obviously confused, but it was worse during the break, you know, when he kept calling Whoopi Regis. The Bidens also addressed his cognitive abilities.
Since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out, deeply sourced from Democratic sources that claim in...
Covering their asses. Covering their asses. And I want to ask any of you, any Democrat that ever watches this, how are you going to square it? Because you had eyes just like the rest of us, ears like the rest of us. I'm not going to take it from any Democrat that I know that, oopsie, we just didn't see it. The world saw it. When people in Australia on their news can see it, on their TV can see Joe Biden talking, they're talking about on X from Australia, on all these other, on the web all over the world, they're talking about, geez, what the hell? But yeah, you missed it here in America. What does that say about you, lefties? That says there's something wrong with you. You were willing to put your head deep in your ass.
In your final year, there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities. What is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that.
The people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us. And they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day.
Yeah, just to get out of bed, just to walk down the hall, just to not poop himself. Here's more of the bullshit. That is more gaslighting. Screw gaslighting. I hate that word. It's more lying. She's lying. We all know that Joe was not doing handsprings behind the scenes. Why does she always have to talk for him? Look at him. Look at it now. He's just looking down. This guy's not with it. Dude, why was she running a cabinet meeting? He didn't do a cabinet meeting for what, a year or two? She ran a cabinet meeting. Nobody elected her. Imagine if Melania Trump ran a cabinet meeting right now. Holy bejesus. The left would lose their minds. They'd be like, "Ow, what the hell, Orange Man? He got his wife doing this. He should be impeached." It would be. It'd be impeach, impeach, impeach.
I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed.
3 hours.
Reading my book, and he was
Look at his face.
Day. I mean,
Look at his face.
Get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed, reading my book, and he was still on the phone, reading his briefings, just working with staff. I mean, it was nonstop.
Yeah, bull. Come on.
Right, Jill.
This is crap.
And you're an actual doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Agree
I'm
on
trying to
the
get to some of the other stuff he
Frosted
said.
Flakes. Finally, let's count the anyways.
What about this provision? No, Joe, I don't like that. Well, anyway, I told you we were going to get any of that done. None of you would have thought it happened. Yeah. Not because negative. I mean, it was anyway. So when I got in the plane, I went to South Korea. I went to 8.2% federal tax. Things. Anyway,
He just
that's
anyway.
the benefit. Yeah. But it's also means you're not. Anyway, I had a bad night. Yeah.
I will say this, though. I'll be honest. Biden looks better now than he did near the end of his presidency. He did. I think, my own thing, I think they took him off whatever IV drip he was on at the time to keep him cognitive because they were done with him. And it's like, holy shit, we're going to pin everything bad that we did right on Joe. Joe had no idea, but we're dropping it all on Joe's head. And I really think so. Because the Bidens, man, Jill Biden acted pissed at the Democrats during the time. She was not talking to Kamala. There's some actual shit there. She wore red during the election. There is no way that was an accident. Joe looks better now. It's like now he's out. Now he's on his own doctors and stuff. He's back on actual good meds for his health. Because I'll be honest, Joe Biden looks healthier right now than he did the last, I'd say, year of his term. I'm saying he looks great. Anyway. Anyway.
That was rough, but
this is what they're trying to gaslight you with, guys. Yeah. Ask Biden. Got the nerve to ask Biden unscripted questions and went wrong. I said, you can go just do Biden gaffe video compilation and you're going to get this. Boom, 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 boom. But the media missed it. The media missed it all. Cringiest moments as presidents. 9 minutes on this one. Another 2 minutes here. They're everywhere. But remember, they missed it. They should all be fired. If they truly missed it, fired. I don't believe they truly missed it. Honestly, I don't. We're going to save that next one. That's the ender. Oh, my. Oof. Let me close some stuff here. Oh, boy. I wasn't going to talk about this. Let's just do a quick hello on this. Breaking. Rep. Shri Thanadar. Sounds like a bad guy from a sci-fi movie. It's Shri Thanadar. Look out. Or a superhero. Dun dun dun. Shri Thanadar. Sorry. Has formally introduced Donald J. Trump articles of impeachment. This is what will happen if the Democrats win the midterms. All they will do is introduce articles of impeachment. They won't go anywhere because nobody's going to pass it. But it's going to keep being introduced. Good grief. If they take both houses, they would definitely try to impeach Trump. If they take just one, they're still going to introduce articles of impeachment and it won't go anywhere, but it's going to waste the taxpayers' dollars and time. This is what we have coming. And I'm going to say to President Trump and Tom Homan, get off your asses, get this stuff done. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Spam Blondie, Spamela Blondie, get something done. You need big things to happen now. So I hope there's a lot to come. I really do. But I am a little worried. We need to get huge things done. All right, guys, I'm running a little short on time, but we're going to do a little more here. Now, here's just a quick picture. I don't have to read about everything else, just like this. 12.3 million deportations under Bill Clinton. 0 injunctions. Where were the Democrat lawyers and judges to scream about it then? Where was the government to scream about it? It was okay when the Democrats wanted to do it. When our government was insane and the deep state itself was okay with it. Because then you got Georgie Jr. Actually, that was President Cheney. You're not seeing President Cheney in the picture. 10.3 million deportations, 0 injunctions. By Obama, 5.3 million, 0 injunctions. Donald Trump, 100,000 deportations, 30 blanket injunctions, which are unconstitutional and illegal. Huh. Come on, Democrats. Why? Give it up. And these guys didn't just go after the criminals, the other three. They would just deported people. Trump so far has deported the heavy criminals. So, yeah. Can you say, well, it's not even hypocrisy. Democrats have zero beliefs except what gives them power in the moment. So, yeah. Yep. Another shot at Trump they had to take. Christy Jackson here. Got his blue check mark. They're breaking. A very confused Trump just saluted military officials at the royal court in Riyadh. A blatant breach of U.S. presidential protocol. Is it? Imagine for 1 second if Joe Biden had done that. You know, you mean like when Joe Biden said, God save the Queen? Stuff like that? Okay. What did we just talk about? Joe Biden said a lot more dumber and did a lot more dumber shit than this. You know what? If you were this worried about the Afghanistan withdrawal, just saying. Joe Biden had done this. Fox News have a week-long meltdown. Now, I do like this, and I picked this for a reason to talk about because of this. People are giving this dumbo facts. Is there such an official protocol? This person asked Grok, is there such an official protocol, or is Christy Jackson just making this up? Grok, there is no official U.S. presidential protocol prohibiting saluting foreign military officials. U.S. military regulations, like Army Regulations 600-25, note, it's customary to salute officers of friendly nations, such as Saudi Arabia, a U.S. ally. You are an asshole, Chris D. Jackson. And to G. Taylor here, who asked Grok this question, good job. Simple facts. They will attack Trump for anything and put this out. And the lefties, you go on Reddit right now, they are going nuts about Trump saluting. But facts? You try to introduce this fact? Oh no, they'll just, what about, at you on something else. Face it, Fox News propaganda has won. Millions of Americans rely on their propaganda to fuel their intense hate and outrage against Democrats. We have to figure out the cure for this, otherwise MAGA followers will continue to enable Trump to dismantle our democracy. Dummy. Here's another one. Your lack of knowledge is astounding. This wasn't hard to find. Yes, it is standard protocol for a U.S. president to return a salute offered by a foreign military leader. The President of the United States is considered a high-ranking individual. He's the chief of our military, guys. And military protocol dictates that a lower-ranking person, including foreign military personnel, will typically salute a higher-ranking person, according to the U.S. Department of Defense. The president, in turn, is expected to return the salute. Oh, Chris D. Jackson, you are a dumbass. Getting owned here. Trump said never in the military he had bone spurs. Doesn't matter. President of the United States. Commander-in-Chief. Dumb. Oh, yeah. See, there you go. If he hadn't saluted them, your headline would read, Trump disrespects Saudi military. 100%. Trump's salute to Saudi officials. Just another example of his disregard for protocol, prioritizing personal optics over diplomatic norms. Okay. Yeah, I like this. It's a display of respect, and it is part of protocol. But I guess Biden left. The Biden people prefer Biden looking all confused on the world stage. Yeah, just turn around and look in weird places and shit. And they were all like, what the hell? Oh, but I just love that. They will attack him for anything, guys. It doesn't matter what. I already talked about that last night, so I'm going to start deleting stuff so I don't keep things in there I want longer than I want to. We did Sri Thanadar. Sorry, guys. I know you get to see some of the back stuff here. I did like this. Okay. I'm not going to do Hakeem Jeffries, but I'm running out of time here. But look at this. Okay. We're getting near the end here. We're going to pick a couple ha-has. I always like to do that. You know that. This is from Anti-Woke Memes. Any of you that actually are watching instead of just listening, I know a lot of people just listen, and hey, thank you very much for that. Rumble, YouTube. What do you guys think of this? Anti-Woke Memes. Men, is he speaking for you? This is from a read share from Throwbile Mamacha. Gosh, help me on that one. As men, we are all bisexual. If we're not already sleeping with other men, it is a secret desire we have. I am speaking for all men. No. I don't think so, Toto. Can't remember if I had time. Yeah, I did answer this one. What the hell, yeah. I mean, some of the answers, people are like, what the hell? Oh, my Lord. That is great. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm sorry, guys. Hope I'm stopping these long enough for you to read them. I'm sorry. For anybody listening, I apologize. Oh, Lord loves a duck. That is wrong. Holy jeez, dude. I've got to say right away, just the whole premise is, what the hell are you thinking? There's no reasonable human gonna say, yeah, that's, of course they all are. Oof. Oof. No. I'm going to get that off there, so I don't ever want to run into that again. Over here, this is my good friend Kevin Sorbo, and I say good friend just because I like what he's done on TV and movies. Andromeda. Couple of seasons, still some of my favorite sci-fi ever. Besides the Hercules Legendary Journey, so hells yeah. Magatraz coming soon. Opening soon. That would be epic. Have big Trump sign on top of it. Trump Alcatraz. Oh. That would be beautiful. Now, a little laugh, and this is actually a laugh for you guys. Como News, Seattle, even they get something right once in a while. The White House, and I'm sure they're going to spin it to, because, oh my God, too bad. White House has announced significant savings following cuts to the DEI programs across the federal government. $2.3 billion worth. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at this because so far they've saved $2.3 billion just slashing DEI crap, which is racism. There's no reverse racism, anybody. It's racism. So by ending our racist practice in our government, we saved $2.3 billion. Oh, dummies. Now, got a little ahead of myself here. Got these out of order, but Chuck Schumer, sadly, once again, it looks like China got the better of Trump. Another example of Trump chaos. He has one policy one day, one the next. Who knows what it'll be tomorrow? And he's talking about if Trump... Oops, let me move shift here. We talked about him last night. Donald Trump's tariffs are shrinking the economy. But the problem is, the actual numbers are Trump got what he wanted. He put the huge tariffs on to make them come to the table, and it worked. China was having riots. They're closing factories. They're having huge unrest. It was hitting their bottom line like crazy. So they've come doing a 90-day pause while they talk. Except, what happens? China reduced their 145 tariff down to, oh no, we reduced our 145 down to 30%. We are tariffing Chinese goods at 30%, much higher than we ever tariffed them. We tariffed them between 2 and 7% on stuff before. Now it's 30%. That's a huge gain for us. China backed down from their 125% to 10%. 10%. That's it. That's crazy. They were hitting us around 30 to 80% on goods, sometimes more. So this is a huge win. And either Chucky over here has got his pants pulled up too high, like what his name, Nadler, or he's just out and out lying again because he's hoping he can say this. And the smooth brains won't go look at the actual numbers of what Trump did. So, woohoo. Love the ignorance. I'm trying to get through some of my... we did that last night. That dum-dum last night. Sorry, I didn't delete some of these. That says it all right there. Pete Rose reinstated. Whoa! Holy crap! Whoa! Whoa! Dude! Dude! We're going to go. We're going to move here real quick. I'm going to get off this. Just hang on. Yeah, I want to look at that. Boom. Pete Rose. Okay, Pete Rose should have been in the Hall of Fame long ago and certainly while he was alive. Glad the way is now clear for it to happen. What a shame. Yeah. The funny thing is, here's what annoyed me about Pete Rose. And I'm not the biggest sports fan, but I know people that are, and because I like to learn things and looked, my dad was mad about this back in the day. Pete Rose did bet on baseball, but he bet for his team, not against. He never bet against his team. If he was going to throw games or rig stuff, he would have bet against his team. He could have made a decision to throw games. He didn't. But he bet on his team to win. That is insane that he got banned all that time for betting for his team to win. If I'm wrong, please tell me, but everything I read and looked up says he bet on his team to win, never against his team. There was never any allegations from what I read that he bet against his team. It was always for. So that is nutso. So yeah, good job. Pete Rose should be in there. Charlie Hustle, considering some of the other people that are in the Hall of Fame, damn right he should be. And he should have been done a long time ago. I mean, there are people in there that never should be on there. Steroid freaks, gangbangers, you name it. But hey, Pete Rose bet on his team to win. Imagine that. That would actually give him a better drive. He's got bets. God knows they could have been with some loan sharks. You don't want to go wrong against those people no matter who you are. He could have been betting for his team to win, and that would have motivated him to have his team win more. You know? Come on. So it is nutso. Oh my God, Connie, how do you do that? How do you do that? I'm going to be out of here in about 2 to 4 minutes, Connie. I got to be out and mow my dad's grass. And then we got dog class, so I got to get out there and get back here as rapid as possible. I got a long ways to go. How you doing, Connie? How are you doing? And by the way, Rumble, I'm not ignoring you guys. I am looking in over there. Rumble, you are kicking butt, by the way. But I think Pete Rose should have been in there, man. I'm telling you. He should have been. Pete Rose reinstated by MLB and is eligible for Baseball Hall of Fame. God, he died last September. That sucks. Placed bets while playing for and managing the Cincinnati, but he bet on his team. How stupid is that? I mean, come on, a couple of you guys probably know better than I do. Jim, Slowburn, Connie, do you guys know? Am I right? Didn't he bet on his team? My dad talked about it a lot at the time, and he was pissed. He's like, he bet for his team. And I believe during the allegation hearing from the MLB at the time, they said he'd bet on his team, never against it. So that's crazy. Oh, that's okay, Connie. But thanks, hon. Nice to see you today. Breaking MLB Commissioner Ron Manfred removed Pete Rose, Shoeless Jackson, and other deceased players from MLB's baseball permanent ineligible list. Good. Good. That is crazy. Like I said, I'm not the biggest sports person, but dang. MLB dead ass wrong because it's Pete Rose shite. I really don't have a revision. That man was, oh, where did that come from? Okay, come on, guys. I've never heard this before. And I've tried to look at both sides of Pete Rose. I've never heard all this about him. Ever. What in the holy crap? Where in the hell does that come from? Let me look at this. See what people... Have you ever heard of Catholic Church is par for the course? Woof. But... That's a fact. Sounds like Congress. Woof. I never heard any of that. Are you? Did you hear that? Connie, I will probably be on later, but it's going to be well after dog class. Probably be between 10 and... I'd like between 10 and 11:30-ish, somewhere in there to start. Is what my plan is. We'll see how that plan goes. Because I got my grass to mow. I got my dad's grass to mow. Clear out of his place. Get back here. Get some stuff ready. I got dog obedience class tonight. So it's going to be quite a day. So yes, I am planning on about 10:30 to 11:30-ish, somewhere in there is what I'd like to do. I said 10, but I think 10:30 to 11:30-ish somewhere as a start, guys, if you want a little red-eye stream. By the way, guys, like I said before, to anybody on any platform here, if you're watching, please take time to hit the thumbs up. And I appreciate you stopping and spending any of your time. By the way, thank you very much for letting me know about the Pete Rose thing. I am looking about... I'm looking at his baseball play, honestly. So, I'd never heard any of this, but all I know is he was a major good player at the time. So, I don't know if he was actually any of this, but with that, we are going to... Oh, no, did I just remove that? There it is. Here's where we're going to end, guys, and I saved this just for you. Are you ready for this? Here is the ender. We're going to... I don't want to bookmark this, because I don't want to see this again later. Hang on to this, guys. You're going to love this. I don't believe there's any sound. Hang on. I got to make sure my headphones kick on, because if there's music, I got to make sure to stop it. I've gotten in trouble a few times. The Chris Rock thing kind of got me a little bit of hot water, but not much. All right, hang on. Hold on and watch this. If you're not watching, I can't do much for you. You're going to miss something really dumb. And I'm going to ask you a quick question. Who do you think this person voted for? She's in a checkout line at a grocery store wearing a mask. And just goes about then bagging her groceries or digging that in her butt and then doing that. What the hell? Yeah, that's worth a second replay. So right there, she got poopy butt. She's got her hand there. And then she goes up there and does that. Ew, gross. What is the hell? Ugh. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. I was watching GB News. They are throwing fits about the illegals. They are sick of them like we are. Oh, 100%, Bunny, yeah. Yeah, actually, we may even talk about that later. Actually, I will write that down to talk about later. We'll try to see how they're doing about that. Hang on. Hang on here. There we go. Sometimes just writing things down with paper is still the best. All right, guys. Thank you very much for stopping in. Like I said, you can follow me over at Lyons Den WS6 on X, Lyons Den WS6 on Gmail, and Lyons Den WS6 on Rumble. Also, all my links are in the channel description, or the video description, and the channel description. But other than that, we are going to hop out of here. Thanks for stopping in for this quick little break. And yeah, I am planning on doing a red eye stream at about between 10:30 and 11:30 to start tonight. We'll see how that goes. If it's going to be a little later, I'm going to apologize, but I'm hoping not. All right, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to, actually, let me pull me up here first. I always like to end with just a little bit of full screen. There we go. Got my screensaver running in the background. But yeah, we are going to hop out. I'm going to give you a quick view of my pups one more time on the way out. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Slowburn. Thank you to the lurkers on both platforms. I appreciate you. And feel free to stop back another time. And like I said, tonight around 10:30 to 11:30, I hopefully will be doing a red eye stream. All right, guys. And here on the way out, oops, I lost my pups. Uh-oh. There. Oh, there it is. Don't know how it got small. That was interesting. Whoop. They can say goodbye. They're much cuter than I am. All right, guys. Have a good afternoon. Get out and enjoy it if it's nice where you're at. Connie, take care of yourself, hon. All right, everybody.